Welcome to Reality with Kiki. I'm your host, Kiki, and on this channel, we discuss reality TV, celebrity gossip, and viral topics. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you like our content. You can also follow us on our Facebook page. A link will be in the description box below, and we also have it linked in our bio. Okay, so Black Ink Crew Chicago. So we start this episode off with Ryan in his shop and his employees. They are outside talking about what happened at the tattoo convention, and he's just kind of running it all down. Because Ford wasn't there, and then obviously like his employees that were there at the convention, they were on their side doing their thing. They didn't see everything that was going on the side with Charmaine and Second City Inc. And one thing that he did say that I was like, okay, finally you starting to see. He said some of the stuff I saw and basically the way Charmaine was moving, he like she need to get her stuff in order or she is not gonna last long in this industry. And then so another point that he brought up is the fact that him and Kit are not cool any longer. He says that they used to be friends, but when everything went down with him and his ex best friend Anthony, Kit reached out to him like, you out partying or whatever. It looked like you celebrating a little bit too much. Like this looks bad. So he like, oh, if you was my friend, you would have my back. Um, you know, she not even realizing whatever happened. That happened like 2-3 weeks ago. She going off the energy of the internet. And it's like, no, if she was not your friend, you acting like she wasn't your friend. If she wasn't your friend, she would have blasted you on social media. She did not. She came to you personally and was like, this is how you look. So I'm not really understanding. And the other thing is just like, Ryan, you are wrong. And if people want to look at you negatively 10 years from now, they can. Like, it's the same thing with Anthony. He just feels like he needs to move past it and that's going to be down on that. But it's like, no. So next we get to Kitty and Steven. They're at the beach. Steven is telling Kitty how Ryan basically came up to him at the convention and it's just like, you always have a spot here at 9 Max. So he's like, he think he's going to take him up on the offer. Kitty's like, I think it's a great opportunity, but I don't know. Ryan's been acting kind of funny. So they kind of get into it and it's based on the same topic about how she reached out to Ryan and was just like, it seems like you're subbing Anthony, like, you might want to chill. And she just was like, from there, like he was upset. If you don't agree 100% with Ryan, then he got a problem with it. So we get to Second City Inc. and just like Charmaine she works my nerves. You're having a team meeting and one of your icebreakers is about your employees' sexual experiences and you want to kiki with them, but you think that somebody is going to respect you. Like, how was that professional? And I understand like this is not a corporate job, but come on now. Especially with the role you're trying to take, this is the route you think that you should go. All right, girl, whatever. So Prince walks in and Charmaine is just like, with everything that happened at the convention, I'm just kind of embarrassed about what happened. I hope that none of the people who work for Second City Inc. feel slighted. So Prince like immediately gets into it. He's just like, I'm your lead artist. You picked your guest artist over me. I had to go work for Nine Mag. That made me feel some type of way. And Charmaine is like, yeah, and you had to pay 50%. And she's like, I just don't want you to be upset. And he's like, okay, well, you trying to give me that 50% back? And she's like, not really. And it's just like, you are not making the right decisions. I feel like you forced him to go over there because you talking about, oh, I had to make a boss decision. It is what it is. Okay, but that's not what he signed up for. Prince didn't sign up to go work for Nine Mag. He signed up for Second City Inc., and that's where people were looking for him. Where people were looking for him at. So as a boss, you should have just gave him that 50% back, not say, oh, that don't got nothing to do with me. That's between him and Ryan. No. You as the owner forced him to go over there. What other choice did he have? Like she is just so trash. Like I like Prince talking about how he had all this loyalty to her. He was the only artist working through the pandemic. You need to leave.
Because
Because
the loyalty is not reciprocated.
and it's just like as a boss, like if you knew that you messed up. You messed up big in multiple ways. Like the least you can do is compensate him back. Especially when you got them people paying $1,500 a month for nothing in that shop. Come on now. Like you want to act like you a boss and you know what you doing. You a boss bitch and all of this stuff. Like make some real boss moves. Prince so cute though. Even when he was bad, he's so cute. But that's not the point. You know, Charmaine was wrong for this. At the same time, though, he sat up there and was like, now I'm seeing everything Drea was saying. So now you only see it now that it's affecting you? That's problematic. So Steven shows up to Dime Mag and he wants to have a conversation with Ryan about him getting a spot in the shop while he's here in Chicago. So they go sit down and talk, and Ryan is pretty much like, yeah, the offer is still on the table, but I know that you have an alliance with Kit. I don't want you to be pillow talking with her, and blah 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 blah. So Steven is just like thinking back. He's like, so Kit is right. Ryan does have a problem with her, and I will say this: what does Kit have to do with the business that y'all got going on? I don't even understand why he brought her up. To be honest, pillow talking or not, what is it that she's going to gain, or what information would she gain that would help take you down, Ryan? He talking about it like Kit is a snake, and you know she'll use information against you. Like in what way? In what way? I'm trying to figure it out. And then it's just like you talking to her or about her like she a snake. Like you ain't a whole snake, Ryan. You slept with your best friend's wife. So Prince goes out with his girlfriend, who is also Charmaine's friend. That's how he met her. She came to the shop and got a tattoo done. Blah blah blah. So she's taking him out. They're gonna do some little cooking. They're cooking quiche, disgusting. Anyway, he is just talking about to her about the convention. You know, he's upset about it. Like that was wrong. The way that Charmaine is running things is crazy. And he's like, you know, I'm not gonna leave, but if things don't get better, I'm not gonna have a choice but to leave. And he's just like, you know, like I am the heart of this shop. Like the reason that people come there is because of me. And it's just like he is probably right because she don't have no artists. She got like a few artists. Two of them are really new artists. You're not doing any marketing. You're not doing any promotion. So how are you really bringing people in there? So she's like, I don't know, babe, because you know that's my friend. And it's just like, girl, all right, but we talking about business right now. We're not talking about friendships. Like your friend just played your man, right? Like that's money out of his pocket because of your friend. And I'm not saying that she should butt in it or be in it, but you need to pick a stance either way. So we get to Charmaine and Neek, and they're in the house and they're having a discussion. And you know, Neek just rubbed me the wrong way from the last time, so he is pushed to the side, right? But anyway, Charmaine is like, you know, everything that went on at the convention, you know, I'm just so embarrassed. And she's talking about, here we go again, talking about Drea and everything Drea and Kitty did and being loud and all this. Drea ain't do nothing to you. She asked for her things and then she got to work and she was minding her business. She didn't speak to you again. So what are you talking about? And so then she's like, yeah, so, Prince is really mad at me because, he had to give up 50% of his earnings and blah, 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 blah. So Nick is like, so he's mad at you and not mad at Drea for what she did. Drea didn't do anything. Drea's not the boss. Drea didn't make the decision for Prince to have to go over and tattoo at 9 Mag. Are y'all serious? This is all on Charmaine, period. Drea took ownership of her side of the booth, which she paid for. And that was that. She didn't have to let Prince do anything. So then she's like, and he's just pretty much like, what does he mean to me? But, he was able to work at the shop rent free during the whole pandemic. He's really the lucky one. Are you serious? First of all, there was plenty of funds that were being given out to business owners during the pandemic. So you're not going to sit up here and tell me that you were struggling all along because you had, first of all, you only had one tattoo artist and because he wasn't paying rent. Please don't do that. And it's just like, I don't like the stance that Charmaine nor Nick are taking. It's just like, for them, they just feel like, business is business. It is what it is. Like, just because you're a business owner doesn't mean you should treat people like shit. That's how you lose out. Like, eventually you're going to lose. And for somebody who doesn't even know how to do tattoos, like, you need to be having everybody on your side that you can, Charmaine. You just keep running into problems, keep pushing people out and not taking accountability. Like, this is just beyond me. Okay, so Ryan texts everybody and it's just like meet up at 9 Mag, whatever. So everybody's starting to show up, but nobody knows that he texts these other people that this is going to be a meeting amongst many. So Kitty is like, I knew it. It was a setup. But Ryan got this set up like he Nino Brown or something. Got everybody meeting around the table. And he pretty much just was like, because Charmaine is like, oh, what's going on here? And he was like, everything that went down at the convention, like, that was not okay. People saw that. And it was a mess. Like, doesn't everybody agree? So they're agreeing. And Prince is like, I felt like it was a lot of personal stuff going on. And that's just not how you run a business. And he looked directly at Charmaine. I said, oh, now you want to call her out? So Ryan is like, I don't know what y'all got going on over there at Second City Inc. And Charmaine is like, can I say something? I came to the convention trying to work as a team and I was blindsided. You were blindsided because you don't communicate, Miss Boss. You don't communicate. Period, point blank. So she's going on and Dre is kind of chuckling or whatever. So Ryan is like, okay, well, I'm going to let Drea speak or whatever. She laughing like, what's going on? So she's just like, I've worked in plenty of shops and this is the one shop where the owner does not know what she is doing. She doesn't know how to run things. She doesn't even want to educate herself about the process, and she doesn't care about the tattoo artist. And she was just like, oh, well, I'm sorry you feel that way. It's not a matter of feelings. I think that's where you're confused, Charmaine. Nobody is feeling that way. It's the absolute truth. These are facts. You don't know what you're doing. So as Dre is trying to finish, Ryan stands up and starts yelling. It's like, oh, we're supposed to be a collective. And then in his confessional, he's just like, I agree with some of the things that Dre was saying, but she needs to understand that Charmaine is the owner of the shop and she has to follow the chain of command. What chain of command? Nothing is in order. And he's like, oh, she can help out. She tried to help out. And I think that's where you're confused. Like, you're trying to get the other sides of the story now, but it's already been put in your head that everybody else has been doing wrong. Everybody else has been trying to do Charmaine wrong when she is the one who has caused all of this. And so here come Don trying to butt into the conversation. I'm just like, what do you do? But he's like, oh, we supposed to be working together and, yeah, and if people see that you're bringing all this negative energy, nobody's gonna be wanting to work with you. Like, we need to be here and basically be on some kumbaya stuff. And it's just like, no, I just feel like y'all are saying this because you're seeing it from the one perspective that Charmaine gave y'all, and you're not hearing what they are telling you. It doesn't matter if they try to go along to get along because Charmaine doesn't know what she's doing. The shop is broke down. Don't nobody want to come there and get a tattoo. It's not going to work. And you basically just telling her to put up with it if you want to be a part of Black Ink Crew Chicago, blah, blah, blah. Nobody cares. Because at the end of the day, working with Second City Inc. is going to ruin the reputation of those artists. Let's just be clear. So they're all saying they understand that should be a team effort. So Ryan is like to Charmaine, okay, so if you understand that, why would you want Drea on your team? Because he knows that Drea would be very beneficial to Charmaine. She's like, I just don't take the disrespect the way her and Kitty came at me at the meeting that we had. And so Forrest trying to get her to tell examples. She still can't tell examples. And Kitty was pretty much like, no, the way you were in that meeting, you already had that energy. Like, I'm gonna get y'all together. I'm gonna get you, and da da da. And she's like, Charmaine is like, oh no, that's the way that y'all perceive it. So Prince steps up and steps in, and he's like, no. When we was in the meeting, it was like, okay, the minute that Kitty and Andrea walked in, the energy shifted, and your energy shifted. The way you was coming at them was different. So now she's like, what? No, absolutely not. And it's just like, okay, so now we got 3 against 1. All three of them lying on you? Really? And she's like, oh, Prince, I think that you're being biased. Okay, so now that you feel like he not on your side, he being biased and you feeling some type of way. Are you serious? And it's just like, even with her trying to blame Kit and Drea, you are the leader. You want to be the boss. You want this title so bad. Why didn't you change the direction of the conversation? Like Prince said, you made it personal. You was talking about how Kitty hasn't called you in months and she knows that your dad is dying of cancer and all of these different things. Everything that you was naming was personal and it wasn't about business. So Jay was just like, I would prefer to be Charmaine's friend than to work with her because working for her is the absolute worst. So she feels like, whatever, both of y'all in cahoots. She thinks that Prince and Dre are in cahoots. Oh, you date one of my best friends, right? She's talking to Prince. And where have you been spending your nights at? He looking at her like, what? She like, I know more than y'all think I know. Drea, who you sleeping with in the shop? Oh, Prince, why your car been outside of Drea's house every night? And it's just like, you are sitting here showing and proving who you are. Like, this is literally showing what they were talking about, what they accused you of. And she's just, I can't, because you're so nasty. And it's like, you sat back there, you try to act like, oh, I'm not doing anything, and you showed who you truly are and the way that you act and the way that you act with the people that you work with. And I don't even know why Ryan and them trying to act all confused and act like you are not that person. Maybe they think you changed because you have a family now, but they know who you are. They know who you are, that mixy girl that used to be at the shop. So she's trying to make these claims. Oh, you're sleeping with Prince and you are a garden tool, trash bag, and you can't work at my shop. Girl, nobody's busting down the door to work at your shop. I said this before. And why are you telling her that like she didn't already leave? Like, what is the purpose? And so Dre was like, no, I'm not the person who sleeps with people at the shop. That's you. She's like, no, I don't sleep with everybody at the shop. I slept with one person. Yeah, and he was married. And Jay's just like, you are messy. And it's just like, you are. Like, that was just such a disgusting thing to do. And you to make those accusations, you don't know nothing about nothing because them people don't talk to you. So whether you saw his car parked outside her house or not, you don't know what was happening. You don't know what was going on. And why did you feel like this was the time to do a gotcha moment? Did you tell your best friend? Because that's who you should be talking to about that. What they do don't got nothing to do with you. That ain't your business. Them people is grown. So if they was getting down, that's their business. So, Prince is feeling some type of way because Charmaine is making these allegations about him and Drea sleeping together. And he's like, that is not the case. And she's like, oh, I'm not even going to tell Mariah. You could tell her yourself. And he's like, what are you talking about? She already knows. And we are real artists. We actually were painting. And she's like, whatever. And she was like, you sitting up here having a conversation with me about loyalty and you trying to do this. He ain't do nothing to you but tell the truth. Now, the truth is him being disloyal? No. And it's just like, that's disgusting. And Dre, she said for a woman to go through something similar and for you to turn around and do that is absolutely gross. And I agree. You were turning up over those allegations that Don put on you, and you gonna sit up here and do that? Oh, his car, he got the only blue SRT in Chicago, and his car was outside her house for many nights while Mariah was out of town. So I'm trying to figure out if this is something on your way to work or home, because why would you be driving by Drea's house all the time? I would love to know where she lives, and is it out of your way? One, two, Prince is like pissed at this point because it's just like, why would you sit up here and why would you do something like that? And I think he's just seeing more of who she really is. And he's just like, whatever y'all got going on, that don't got nothing to do with me. Why would you put me in that? And it just goes to show you that, like, Charmaine is truly not a leader. Like, this is not a position for you. But, good luck, girl. So, Ryan is going on about how they're supposed to be a crew and all of this stuff. So, Kitty's like, okay, if we supposed to be a crew and you're supposed to be the leader of this crew, have you been doing everything you needed to do? And he was just like, I believe I have. So, blah, blah, blah. He goes on, he says, Kid, me and you ain't been the same since the whole ant situation. So, you still harping on the fact that she called you out, like, as a friend, personally. She felt like you was doing too much on social media after what you just did to your best friend. He is like getting upset, turning up. Babe, I thought you said you were in therapy. And is it working? Because I don't understand why something like that would get you that upset. You feel like Kat is not loyal to you now because she called you out on your stuff? Are you serious? Don had to pull him away. Like, that's how much he was turning up and getting angry and trying to yell at her. Like, are you serious? And then now I'm confused because up here you saying that y'all was friends, but just last week when you was getting called out about not protecting these women, you said that they weren't your friends. Okay, Ryan. And like I said, I don't know if the therapy is working because I don't feel like you're taking full accountability or empathizing with anybody in the situation because he's like, how you gonna take another man's side? Blah blah blah. Cat is like, I wasn't taking his side. I was coming to you as a friend, letting you know when you're wrong. I told you to stop subbing him. It wasn't right. And if that's what you was doing, you are dead wrong because this man is going through pain after finding out that his best friend slept with his wife and you got the nerve to be subbing him and you like, you don't care. You'll say it to his face. He said he ain't never want to see me again. I saw him, he ain't do nothing. It's just like, really? That's the take you got? That's the stance you're gonna take based on this situation, even though you were wrong. And it's just like, why do everybody got to be on your side? And that's one thing I noticed, like with Don and Four, they don't tell him when he's wrong. Even every time he brought up the Anthony situation, they just like, yeah, yeah, you know. And it's like, no, Ryan is wrong. And you trash for that. I don't like that. I don't like the way you was talking to Kid. Like, you are very disrespectful. And I guess that's where you see yourself in Charmaine because you feel like nobody can tell you nothing. Nothing you do is wrong. So Ryan is like, Kitty ruined their friendship over some goofball stuff. She's being a goofy. And it's just like, if anybody is goofy, it's you. Because all of that energy for what? I feel like it's misplaced anger. You mad because the world was against you and was telling you you're wrong. And instead of owning that and moving forward and actually seeing other perspectives, you want to get mad. Kid didn't do nothing to you. All of that energy he gave her was unacceptable. And he's like, we came here to resolve stuff and, nothing got resolved and I allow somebody to take me to another place. No, you took yourself to that place. Nothing she said should have angered you in that way. And she was correct when she approached you. When she approached you about the situation when it happened back then, she was absolutely correct. And that's what a friend should do.
So that's pretty much how the episode ends. They got me hot and bothered, okay? Real or fake, y'all got me feeling some type of way because nobody wants to own their stuff. Everybody wants to point the finger at other people. The main two people who's supposed to be leaders are doing a lot of wrong and feel like they shouldn't be held accountable. Y'all let me know what y'all thought about this episode down in the comments below, and I will speak to you next time.